Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 211 of the Guru Talkin Sports podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. Well, this Saturday was really great Saturday for me. Only thing I did was rest and recover. Laid around and lounged around in my pajamas and just took it easy, watching all the basketball games and watching, my two pups run around here on National Puppy Day. And it was really cool because, like I said, from a hectic week, a little bit of a hectic week, I basically needed the rest and relaxation. And what I usually do on a Saturday when I get home from work, I have to rest. I have to rest up because of the week that I usually put in and the hours that I put in driving on the road. You guys know that I am a truck driver and I basically love doing my job. My job is one of the best jobs in the world, and I will not, not just saying that just to be saying that and making it tongue in cheek. But believe me, it is a remarkable job that I really love and I really enjoy. The second thing I like more, I do like my job and I like my family life. I like my home time, and I do enjoy my rest and relaxation. My ultimate, other love is sports. And like I said, today was the NCAA tournament. Basically, I watched everything, all the tournament games, as much as I could, men's and women's game. And, I'm watching right now Creighton and Oregon. They're basically going into overtime. And Creighton, one of the guys from Creighton just hit a big shot. Ashworth hit a big shot and put Creighton up by 1 point. One thing I did learn is doing these podcasts and everything, I can't do play-by-play, which is one of the things that I would love to do, but I can't do the play-by-play. I think I did that a little while back with, football or maybe baseball or something like that. But like I said, I love the sports. I just can't do play-by-play. Anyway, I did get a chance to watch the men and the women's game. Watched Texas and Tennessee. That was a pretty good game. But it was, Texas, I thought, had a chance to win that game, but they didn't. And the two-seeded Tennessee Volunteers, won that game. Now, when the brackets came out last week, and I told you guys, I have 4 teams that I basically liked to probably make it to the Final Four. But what happened is this. They put all 4 of those teams in the same bracket. And it was in the same bracket with the defending national champion, UConn Huskies. Now, the thing about it is that, I told you guys that I like UConn, Iowa State, Illinois, and Auburn. And, if you're, kind of crazy just like I am, I picked Auburn in one of my brackets to win the whole thing. And what do? They get put out in the first round. Now, Illinois is still in there. And I think I did have Illinois advance into the, Sweet 16. But like I said, it was just, kind of like a crapshoot. Now, I do have to watch UConn tomorrow, see how they make out. Iowa State did win today. And, like I said, Iowa State won. Illinois won. Auburn got put out, and UConn plays tomorrow. So, basically this is what I'm watching right now, is to see how these 4 teams do. And like I said, one of these 4 teams might win it all. Like I said, I can kind of take my chances on those 4 teams against the field. But to tell you the truth, the hottest team that's playing now, and I mean these guys are scorching hot, is North Carolina State Wolfpack. Now they had to win 5 straight games in the. They basically was out of the tournament. They were basically sitting on the bubble outside, looking in on the on this tournament. So what did they do? They go in, win 5 games, and then they basically won the ACC, the championship in the ACC, and now they're 2-0 in the tournament. So now, I mean, it's like the Wolfpack is really, really, like I said, the hottest team in basketball right now, in college basketball. I really like them, but like I said, I didn't think that they had enough, and I wasn't really, really picking them to do anything because how they struggled before they got into the NCAA tournament, or the ACC tournament. All right, so they're hot. I gotta admit, they're hot. Like I said, I got a chance to watch. Here's some of the games I did watch. I watched a little bit of the Notre Dame game, Notre Dame and Kent State. This is the women's. I watched UConn and Jackson State, and like I said, Paige Bueckers. I might be saying her name wrong, but Paige Bueckers was amazing, and they basically just manhandled Jackson State, who had no answer for any of the players on UConn as well. I did get a chance to see Caitlin Clark against Holy Cross, and I was watching one of the shows I really like watching is ESPN Bets Live or whatever it's called. But the guy on there told me, he said, look, if you can, take the under on Caitlin Clark's point total. The under was 33 and a half. And what did she do? She went out and scored 27 points. Should have took that back. I'll get it next time. Like I said, that show comes on tomorrow, and I have to run down to over the Delaware line, to Maryland, to play my bet for that. And like I said, I'll do it. I did get a chance to see USC versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And like I've been telling you guys before, this young lady, Juju Watkins, is very, very special. I see now why they call her one of the, she's probably one of the most impressive freshmen in this freshman class. And she is just dynamic. Got a chance a little bit, like I said, saw Notre Dame, and I did see Hannah Hidalgo, and she is really good as well. Like I said, I was watching Tennessee earlier. I think Tennessee was like the first game that started off this Saturday, and I did get a chance to see Rakia Jackson, and she looks really, really good as well. Now, unfortunately, tomorrow I'm not going to be able to watch the Stanford game, and I do want to see Cameron Brink, but I am going to take that game, and I'm basically probably going to watch it when I'm out on the road. But I did get a chance to see some great basketball today, and like I said, this, I didn't even flip to the other sports. I didn't even go to baseball, and like I said, the Orioles were playing. But I am going to talk a little bit about the Shohei situation that's coming up here in a little bit, right after I finish up with this, oh my gosh, these guys are going to a second overtime. Oregon and Creighton, they're tied at 71. They're going to a second overtime. Anyway, like I said, I just didn't want to, really bog myself down with watching anything else but the tournament. And like I said, the tournament always gets my attention, and it gets me going because, like I said, when it's March time, I love to watch this. I love to watch the tournament. All right, so like I said, in the men's game, I did get a chance to see Illinois. Illinois is, they blew out Duquesne, and Duquesne was a really good, interesting story. They won their first match, and I did pick them to win their first match. The first time they won a game in the tournament since 1969. If you count, I was only 7 years old that year. Anyway, I know I'm pretty kind of getting up there. Anyway, Texas and Tennessee, I did watch that game. Rick Barnes afterwards said that he has a lot of respect for the Texas Longhorns, which he used to coach a while back. Iowa State, I did get a chance to watch them. They look very impressive. They're 2 seed, and they beat Washington State. They'll keep moving on. North Carolina beat Michigan State, and Michigan State really played them tough for a while, and then North Carolina kind of pulled it out. Did look at a little bit of Kansas and Gonzaga, and Gonzaga, the 5 seed beat Kansas, the 4 seed. Did watch Arizona and Dayton. Arizona was just, really, really tough. They won by 10 over Dayton. Now, some of the games from Friday night was very interesting on the men's side. Grand Canyon U, they beat St. Mary's. And, you got Utah State. Some of these teams, I told you, they're really, really unpredictable. Really unpredictable. Houston did win. They beat Longwood. James Madison, they pulled the upset. They beat Wisconsin, and Wisconsin was really, really hot as well. Alabama, they won their game. Purdue won their game. They were, nervous in Purdue. Like I said, Yale beat Auburn, one of the teams that I did think that they was going to, go to the Final Four. But like I said before, I had 4 teams that I thought would be in the Final Four, but they put them all in UConn's bracket, and that was Iowa State, Illinois, Auburn. All 3 of those teams were in the same bracket, and the committee really didn't do UConn any justice because, like I said, they basically wanted them, wanted to challenge them and see if they can make it through that tough road. But they beat the Stetson Hatters. Great story for Stetson, but they could not match up with the UConn Huskies, the defending champs. Danny Hurley and his gang were really, really good, and they blew them out basically. A couple other ones I can think of is Baylor. Baylor looked pretty strong. San Diego State had a fight on their hands, but they won, and they beat UAB. Now, tomorrow is going to be really, really good because there's a lot of teams that, a lot of matchups that it's going to be pretty good tomorrow. You got Colorado, and Colorado won their game, and basically they scored 102 points. This probably was the highest scoring NCAA game I ever watched, and they scored 102 points. But like I said, Alabama scored 109. Alabama. I'm not really big on Alabama. They show offs anyway. So anyway, like I said, it's been a really good tournament, Really, really good tournament. And like I said, I really enjoy all these games. Creighton is up now by 8, and in the second overtime, and they're walking the ball down the court. So that Creighton might move on. And Oregon had a really good season. They were, I think no, Colorado would be the last Pac-12 team standing. And as we know that the Pac-12 is going away, which is going to be a really big shame because, like I said, I think one day next week or so, I'm going to probably present you with all the Pac-12 players, greatest players in Pac-12 history. And yes, O.J. Simpson is on that list. Only because, hey, look, before he was, accused or did what he did or so, I know that, he did what he did. He was basically a great running back for USC. And, take nothing away from his athletic ability. He was great then, but, how it all ended or so. Northwestern is still hanging in there tough. They're going to be playing UConn, and we'll see what kind of challenge UConn has with them. So, like I said, on the men's side, that's what's happening. Now, I did want to say something about the women's side. I was watching Maryland and Iowa State, and, I kind of fell asleep on them because it was kind of boring, but Maryland was up by like 20 or something like that. I turned on the TV this morning and find out that Maryland lost that game. And I was like, how in the hell Brenda Freeze let this team back in and beat them? But it happened. Really, really, really shocking. All right, but like I said, watch a lot of women's basketball. Watch Caitlin Clark. I watched Lakia Jackson, Paige Breckers, and Hannah Hidalgo. Those are the young ladies that I thought that was really impactful for their teams on this day. All right, so great day of basketball today. I'm probably going to hang out and maybe not go anywhere and do anything and just watch all the games tomorrow, men's and women. Like I said, women's bracket, and I'm not doing too bad in that one, but the women's tournament is more exciting now than the men's tournament. And like I said, this is the way it is. Because with Caitlin Clark and like I said, these young ladies that are playing now, they're making their sport very, very interesting. So I'm definitely going to check them out. Okay, on Thursday, late Wednesday, Thursday morning, I got a couple alerts on my phone about Shohei Ohtani. Now, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, what the hell's going on with Shohei? It's like this guy, never gets in trouble. How is it that, his name is trending on X or Twitter, if you want to still call it Twitter? I still call it Twitter. And the story came out about him. He had to fire his interpreter, Mitsuhara. That's his name. I can't pronounce his first name. I'll just say Mitsuhara. Anyway, the story of what happened is very unclear right now because I heard two different things. And I know you probably heard two different things. You're saying one, Shohei got robbed. This might be a situation where he, got robbed of $4.5 million. And it's kind of weird to see where 4.5 million would go. I mean, hey, if I had that, I would be gardening with my life. You know, that's one of the things I gotta tell you is just that I can't understand how some of these guys can keep a close eye, or try to basically just know how much how much money and how much wealth they have on them. But it changed from a theft to maybe giving his buddy, his interpreter, $4.5 million to help him out with a sports bet. Now, I read something today saying that there might have been 5 or 6 different red flags or so. But here's the big deal. If Shohei knew that he was betting or helping his friend out to bet, and he gave that money, he wired that money to his friend to have him take care of a bet or, gambling losses, that could be a problem because that's a federal offense. And plus, in the state of California, you can't gamble. Not like we can on the East, wherever. I don't understand why the rules and the gambling thing is certain states can do certain things or whatever. Creighton just beat Oregon. Matter of fact, I wanted to say that while I got a chance to. But anyway, getting back to this. Why is it that they, it's like I live in Delaware right now. And I have apps on my phone to play certain bets or play different apps or, apps on my phone. But I have to go to different states. Let's say like if I'm in Maryland, I have one app for that. If I'm in Pennsylvania, I have another app for that. If I'm in New Jersey, I have another app for that. And if I'm in New York, I have another app for that. So, I used to have one for Connecticut, but I'm not up in Connecticut anymore that much. I just don't understand. Why don't they just make it legal throughout the United States? And just make it legal. But, going back to the situation with Shohei. If he did bet or paid off this guy, this bookie, illegal bookie, that could be troublesome because, he could be banned. He could be in trouble with MLB. Now, his buddy said that he only bet on, stuff like soccer, all the other different little sports except for baseball. And my question was, if he bet on baseball, how could he get the information? Who was giving him the information? Now, you got to remember, too, this guy's an interpreter. He knows English and he knows Japanese. One of the things is that he's in a Major League Ball clubhouse. He has access to all those guys that's in the clubhouse. At the when Shohei was with the Angels at the time, yeah, he had a lot of access, being his interpreter. Now, Shohei knew about this and he bet on baseball. He's done. You guys remember Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose. Those guys are banned for life for, one for throwing baseball games, and 2 for the Pete Rose being a manager betting on his team and everything. Now, the rules for MLB players is this. You can bet on other sports, but you cannot bet on baseball. And I think, going back when Pete Rose was suspended, we all knew that, and that should have been I think Bart Giamatti really made a example out of Pete Rose. Now you can't really fault Bart Giamatti for it. Pete Rose knew what he was doing, and when he was betting on baseball, he shouldn't have done it. And there's a rule in the rule book, and I did look over it, and I did see, it's 21D something or whatever. I don't know what it is right off. But I did look at it, and it said, hey, look, if any player, executive, umpire, or team official bets on baseball, they will be banned for life. And it's plain and simple. Now, in other sports, NFL, we heard about those guys that was getting, in trouble for betting in the team facility on football. That's kind of stupid, right? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about the rules, and I'll check these rules for, future about where you can bet or what you can't bet. But the thing about it is that I know in football you can't bet in a team facility on anything. If you want to bet on, something, let's say like hockey or NASCAR or, highlight or maybe even sumo wrestling. You can bet on it, but, you can't bet on football. Can't bet on your sport. That hurts the integrity of the sport. But another thing too is that all these sports leagues are basically in with gambling. They're in it now. You can see that, hey, look, we got, Las Vegas used to be off limits. You see how big Las Vegas is now? And they got, they got the Raiders. They got the Golden Knights. They got teams there. 30, 40, 20, 25, 30, 40 years ago, you would never thought that Las Vegas would have a team. For basically what it is, everybody's into gambling. And like I said, I am a part-time gambler. Yeah, I do. I dabble in it. But like I said, if I was an athlete and I knew that I can't bet on my sport, probably I would bet. I would not bet, period, if I was a professional athlete. Well, that's not here nor there for another day or whatever. So, Shohei might be in a little bit of trouble. But I got a really, really good sense that he's smart enough not to bet on baseball. And I think every single year when these guys are in spring training, they have to know that they give them these rules and they know that they cannot bet on the sport that they are playing in. So, you can't bet on baseball. So, we just don't know. We got to find out a little bit more. Major League Baseball has opened up an investigation. And, I asked around and, I was wondering if this scandal gets out could this be bigger than the, Black Sox or the steroid era? Or is it bigger than the Astro cheating scandal? Let's see. Now I'm going to go off subject with this. Now, see, baseball they tried to do a lot of good things here in the last year with the pitch clock, the new rules, bigger bases, no shift. I mean, the game is basically, it's coming back a little bit. Now, you got this situation where you got this face of the sport. Now, like I said, I heard this a lot yesterday. The guy is not just a Major League Baseball player in the States. He's Japanese, and he might be one of the biggest athletes in the world. This can't ruin baseball, but this could sink baseball if there's nothing done about it. Or if, like I said, they kind of take their time and, kind of like, snail mail it. You never know what happened. But I think at the end of the day, when they do look at this and find out that he didn't bet on baseball, he should be okay. He could be suspended. He could pay a hefty fine, but we never know. We'll find out. Like I said, this is only the tip of the iceberg with this situation. And now, we'll see what happens. I tell you, I've never in my lifetime have seen anything like this. Where, one of his buddies, Shohei has to have an interpreter because he do understand a little bit of English. But then again, hey, if, Shohei helped his buddy out, his buddy's got to take the fall for it. But then again, it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation? You got to figure out, why would you put yourself in that situation? We don't know. We'll find out. Like I said, this is going to be in the news cycle for a little while. So you just got to, let's see how this thing plays out. I was compelled to do something on Friday, right after I got home from work, but I was too tired. I didn't want to really do anything. After I get home, I just like to relax. And like I said, Saturday is my relax and chill out day. Sunday is my, get myself ready for work day. But we'll see what happens with this. You guys, I really appreciate you listening and checking out the Guru Talkin Sports podcast episode 211. And like I said, really, really appreciate everything. This is a crazy situation with Shohei. Because like I said, we've never seen this before. Where a global icon of a sport could be facing a lifetime ban. We'll see. I can't, I don't know where this is going to go. But like I said, this is something that we should be checking out because this might have a whole new effect on everything in a sport that's trying to build itself back up. You guys have a great day. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your sports weekend. Enjoy the rest of these games. And the Guru will see you real soon. I'll be back next week with episode 212 of the Guru Talkin Sports podcast. Later.